disability. This year UN has completed its 75 year, and what is disability, what are the definitions given by WHO, why this disability is connected with some kind of a stigma. Let us move ahead, we will see in this lecture. What is disability? It is the main question, it is the important question. Why disability has some stigma attached to it? What are the reasons behind it? So this year, as I said, the 75 years has been completed by the UN, and the WHO defined disability in this way: if some persons have impairment in its body structure or functions, like if he may be not be able to walk properly like a normal person, or his hand is not working, his hand one hand is useless, if like the normal person he is unable to perform its body structures work, like if the person has a hand and he is unable to use it, so that is something kind of impairment. Or mental function, like if the person is suffering from memory loss or some issues, like acting in not in a normal way. So this is one kind of disability. And another is like activity limitations, like the person has a person has an eye but he is unable to see, person has an ear but he is unable to hear. Okay, so that kind of activity limitations with that person, or participation restrictions in normal daily activities, like he is unable to do work in a particular climate, if it is hot he is unable to survive it. Okay, so if these kind of situations have been attached with a particular person, then we call it as a disability, and this is defined by a WHO. Okay, so why this disability has been attached as something, a stigma, that is a weakness kind of things. See, I will give you one best example. Like, let us suppose a person is there A, and if you ask him to fly, he won't be fly. Why? Because this person don't have a wing. Okay, this person don't have a wing, so how can this person will fly? Similarly, if and there is no fault of this person, because this wings is given to the birds only. Okay, similarly, if a person B is disabled, maybe some accident, maybe by birth, and if he is unable to do that kind of work, then why we attach a stigma to that person? Okay, why we will attach that stigma to the person? Why we will think something weakness to that person, and even we are not providing his a sufficient need for his daily work. So that kind of situation we are suffering. Like, suppose if a person A is unable to fly, then we are providing him a flight to go from one place to another. Okay, similarly, if a person B is unable to walk, we have to take care for his wheelchair and all. Okay, then we have to take care for his wheelchair. Okay, so like if a person is going to a bank, then a bank should have a proper wheelchairs, or some officials should be defined for helping this disabled kind of person if he is visiting to the bank. Okay, so that kind of thing is required in this today's world. Okay, so there are billion people impacted by the disability throughout the world, and problem is not the disability but the stigma attached with it. Thinking that the disability is causing a person to cause lesser function than the normal is a stigma. Sometimes because of the disability of a person, he is not getting jobs. Okay, like suppose if a person is unable to walk, and if he is a great coder, some company may not hire. Usually it does not happen right now, but let us suppose he is not getting hired. What is the relation with the walking of that person and the coding of that person? Coding is with the mind, with the hand he can type. Even he is disabled with the hand also, there is another way. Okay, why we are attaching that stigma to that person, that he is weak, he will unable to do that work? Okay, that we are talking about. So we have to understand a person who is suffering some kind of disability is a person who is having a normal right to do anything he want to do and achieve. It is his right of that person that whatever he want to achieve, he should achieve it. We can't attach something weakness because of his disability. Stigma creation is a large problem than the disability actually is. Disability is not a problem. The stigma that we attach with that person is a problem. Disability is something normal kind of things. A person is unable to fly and a bird is flying. Bird can't see a human being as a disabled person. He is something different, bird is completely different. Same thing, a disabled person, if he is unable to walk, he is different, you are different. We can't treat him something like that, he is weak. Okay, that I am trying to explain here. I hope you understand it. So thinking a particular person is entitled to do something because the person has suffered some kind of incident. There may be some kind of things. Okay, don't think like, don't attach a stigma to the person. This is the only issue. Okay, let us suppose example is given like a person is handicapped, unable to walk and wanted to go to the bank. So then bank must be ensured that they should be able to reach it to them easily, because it is the right of a person. Like if some person want to give vote, so this vote should be accessible to the person. Like if someone person is working in Gujarat and he actually belongs to Bihar, and because of his salary and all he can't go to Bihar to give vote, and this is something that we are snatching their right to vote, because we have to provide accessible vote to that person. Okay, that I have explained in the blockchain description in my YouTube channel. You can go through the videos and understand all these topics. Okay, so a person must be had who will be able to understand like Braille language if someone is for that who can't see, or other kind of handicapped communication requirements. So this kind of arrangement will help in reducing this kind of stigma that person is weak. So 80% of this 1 billion people live in developing countries, and the international level organization has defined that 73.6% of the 73.6% of persons living with disabilities in India are outside the labor force. They are not getting jobs and all. So what is labor force? I will explain that employed and unemployed both will come under the labor force. Okay, so the further people from rural areas are more neglected among the disabilities group. In the rural areas, this is the more issues. In urban areas, maybe some get facilities and all. Maybe some people will get technological or automatical wheelchairs. But in the rural areas it is not possible. Even if some person has got electronic wheelchair, okay, but the road of the rural areas are not good, ultimately that wheelchair will be unable to work because of that soil and all. Okay, so I hope this you understand that the stigma, that kind of a stigma is attached with the disability person. So what is the issues with the disability? Discrimination. That a stigma is nothing but discrimination. So it is a new discrimination present, like we are discriminating with on the basis of what? Not untouchability. We are discriminating with them with their education, employment, healthcare and other opportunities as per the disability of that person. So further, during COVID, actually this topic came because of this COVID situation. In this COVID situation, the most affected person is no one but the disabled person. Okay, now you will understand why this topic came. So COVID, they suffered the most. So UNESCO recognized in the State of Education Report 2019, like if you see the old report, inclusive education should be provided. So include everybody irrespective of their area, race, sex, caste and disability too. Is complex to implement. That this report was given by the UNESCO. That is very complex to implement, where we are attaching all those things, especially the disabled one. It is because different people have different kinds of need. We can't make them into one classroom. Like if a teacher is speaking something and one person is unable to hear, what is the benefit to them sitting in that class? He needs some separate class. He needs some different kind of thing. So I'm sorry that I've said that inclusive education. No, inclusive education is not the requirement actually. Okay, so it is because different people have different kinds of needs. So needs a lot of understanding. Sometimes support of family is also absent. In rural areas we will see these kind of situations. But India has done some good work in this respect, and we have improved more. And we have to work more to eradicate this kind of situation. It is not like India is lacking there. No, India has worked on it. Furthermore, women's girls with the disabilities are at higher risk of experiencing sexual and other forms of gender bias violence. Sometimes rape has happened because of the women's, because of disability they were unable to walk, or if some women is unable to speak, they were unable to shout and all. Okay, so these are kind of black mark on our country if these kind of news comes us. Okay, we should take action against these kind of issues by removing those stigma and giving much more power to girls and all. Okay, especially for the girls. If we are talking disabilities, then we have to work on it. We have to implement some policy and all, so that the person will think thrice before doing such kind of acts. So not including them in our economy, we are not including those disabled person in our economy because we think that they are weak person, but it is not actually like. So we are actually losing the development of our country, and this is acting as an economic block for the country. Amartya Sen has said that we are unable to understand their capabilities. Okay, just understand that how this disability is hampering our country, how much country is losing because of that weak mind of that undisabled person, we call it, because they are thinking disabled person as a weak one. This is not disabled person is weak one, undisabled person weak mind is creating that kind of stigma. We are unable to understand their rights of capabilities, and we did not utilize them at full extent in the development of the country. Supreme Court records are still online, and if you go to the Supreme Court, if screen reader is there, they will be unable to read those websites. Okay, so the condition of Supreme Court is like that. Just think what is the condition of the district court. Even if you go to the some courts, like recently only the Patna High Court has been changed as the HTTPS. Ultimately, previously all the websites were working as HTTP, like no security was there. Even some website does not have HTTP and all. It was directly working. It was, even if you open that website, sometimes it was written as unsecured website, and this is, I'm saying, your high court of some states or district courts of some areas. Okay, it is not I'm telling of a small courts or a special courts that has been happened. No, it is, I'm talking about high courts of some states. So this is the situation. So we have to think with the disability person, so that if a person has a screen reader, the screen reader should work, or some kind of, if there are many electronic medias there, so the website of the government officials at least should be working with these kind of challenges, with these kind of technologies that will help the disabled person while accessing their websites. Okay, so unlabeled links were there in the Supreme Court website. Search filter was unable to read by the screen reader. Some text is inaccessible due to security issues. We are just doing what? We are just excluding the certain category of the people, and ultimately we are losing the development of the countries by excluding them. We are not recognizing the disabled person, and we are not giving them rights that they deserve. These are harsh words, but it is true, and this is also true that we have done a very good job in improving the condition. Okay, so what are the initiatives taken by the international community? So international community has taken certain initiatives regarding it also. So one of the initiatives is the Global Action on Disability, GLAD. This is Global Action Disability, that is GLAD network. UNESCO came up with the GLAD network, but it has been established by the International Disability Alliance, IDA, in London, December 2015. So IDA was established in 1999. It is a network. It is just a form of information. I am just giving a reading for it. So it is a network of global organization of the person with disabilities and their family. So as I in starting, I have already said that the UN has completed 75 years, and in this respect, all the information was given. Okay, so similarly, they seek to coordinate with the donors and the agencies so that finance can be done with the better opportunity. So because of this network, International Disability Alliance, and the network that they create, that global organization, like if someone want to donate after their death, this will help those persons. Okay, that will make disabled person undisabled one. Okay, so that kind of situation should be there. You should be come forward and give your eye donors, like if you die, then your eye will be donated to the needful person, or liver or heart, that kind of things you can do, and it is good for the society also. Okay, so the Convention on the Rights of the Person with Disabilities, UNCRPD, it is a landmark international treaty, that is Convention on Right of Person with the Disabilities, okay, adopted by the UN in 2006 and forced on 3 May 2008. So this convention is intended as a human right instrument, and it seeks to form situation where social development of the disabled person happen, and it categorizes the person as a disabilities. Is it just the sake of information I have given here? I have explained all the things in the previous slides. Okay, so thank you. I hope you have understand this lecture. Please subscribe the channel. It is a form of payment you are making me, and if you have any suggestions or you want any on-demand video lecture, please feel free to ping on my Twitter handle. Thank you.